Now, one of the things I've really gotten into over the past few years is mountain biking. I bought a new bike pre-COVID, and I often go out with one of the other portfolio managers on the Global Opportunities Fund, a guy named Justin Gray. And if you've ever met Justin, this is a guy that's good at any sport you put in front of him, and mountain biking is no exception there. So late last year, we were out on one of the trails just on the North Shore over there near Manly, and I had this massive stack. I went straight over the front wheel, landed on my head. I had a sore head for weeks afterwards. And it's only now that I can look back at that and think, why did I crash? Why did that happen? And I think there were three reasons that I crashed. The first one was I was looking down. I wasn't looking where I was going. I wasn't following the trail. I wasn't looking forward. The second one was we were on a trail that had a lot of variability. It was changing all over the place, and I wasn't adjusting my stance. I wasn't focused on what's changing on the trail. And the final thing I was thinking about is that I wasn't really enjoying it. I wasn't in the flow, in the zone of the mountain biking. So I wasn't embracing the opportunity. Now, funnily enough, those three things are also very applicable to investing in global markets, and that's what I'd like to talk about today. The first one is looking forward. Markets, companies, it does not matter what's happened in the past. It's all about what the future is going to hold, and that's what we focus on at Firetrail. The second one is focusing on change. We focus on positive change, and we're looking for the companies that will be the leaders, the sustainable leaders of tomorrow. And finally, today I'll talk about some of those opportunities that we are seeing out there in global equity markets. What we are is global equity investing with a sustainable edge. So how do we do that? Think about that first point, looking forward. If you think about the companies out there today, and things like the Magnificent Seven, companies that are at the top of their game, they'd be right at the top of this curve schematic we've got here. We call them leaders, sustainable leaders. Now, with that, they're great companies. Some of them might do very well in the future, but they also come with very high valuations, very high expectations as well. We believe the best way to find excess returns is finding the companies that aren't the leaders today, but will be the leaders when you look forward 3, 5, 7 years into the future. And that's what 2/3 of our portfolio is made up out of, companies which we call future leaders. Now, all future leaders in the portfolio, they have three common characteristics. We call them the S3 characteristics. The first one is sustainable business models. We need to look forward in that time period, that 3, 5, 7 years, and think about the company not only surviving, but thriving in that time frame. The second one is sustainable earnings, sustainable cash flows as well. Doesn't matter if a company might be loss-making today. We've got a couple in the portfolio out of the 30 or so names in the portfolio that are loss-making, but we need to see that clear pathway to forecast in the future those earnings being sustainable and the cash flows being sustainable as well. And finally, we look for companies that are going through sustainable positive change. If you can find those companies, you can ride this positive change curve, you can get increases in earnings, increases in valuations, and find the sustainable leaders of tomorrow. The way we do this is through this high conviction 30 stock portfolio. It's concentrated. We're looking for sustainable opportunities as well. So let me open up some of those opportunities to you and where we're focused on finding the change going through companies. We look absolutely everywhere for opportunities, from billion-dollar companies to trillion-dollar companies within the portfolio, right across the MSCI World Index and beyond is our universe. We look large, small, cyclical, defensive, value, growth. Every company is an opportunity for us. Companies such as Fortum here. Now, Fortum is a Finnish electricity generator. It's got hydro assets, it's got nuclear assets as well. It's an $11 billion company. Now, the great thing about this company is that it provides clean electricity and it provides it 24 hours a day. In the middle of the night when it's not sunny, when the wind's not blowing, this is where your power needs to come from. And it's able to provide that power 24 hours a day. Trades on just 11 times price to earnings, has a 6% dividend yield, 8% free cash flow yield, and we believe there is the upside for power prices to increase as well in Europe. Companies such as McKesson. McKesson is a pharmaceutical distributor in the US. 14 times price to earnings. Again, it's a cheaper company than the market multiple. McKesson is a distributor that's solving a lot of the issues within the complex American healthcare system, the convoluted system that it is. Even has companies such as Amazon as a customer, and we all know how good Amazon is at distribution. Now, whether value growth, large, small, cyclical, defensive, all companies within the portfolio fit into one of our 4 sustainable investment themes. These 4 themes, we're assessing a company not as it is today, but how it will be in the future, how it will be in that 3 to 5 year time frame. The 2 on the left-hand side, health and well-being, innovation and equality, more about people. 2 on the right-hand side, climate impact and sustainable world. Now, importantly, these themes don't really narrow down our universe too much. About 75% that MSCI World Index and beyond will fit into one or more of these forward-looking themes. It really is our best value and growth ideas in the global equity markets. Now, I told you I'd talk about an opportunity out there in markets today, and I'm pretty excited about this one today. EVs. Very exciting. Now, I can see some of you rolling your eyes out there. Before you run out the door and jump in your Toyota Land Cruiser and get out of here and not listen about EVs, I'm talking about a different kind of EV here. Now, whether you're petrol or diesel or hybrid or battery, every vehicle out there today that's rolling off the production line is a highly electronic vehicle. That's what I'm talking about when I mean EVs. They are rapidly growing up there in the market today, and the amount of electronics in every car is rapidly growing as well for a few reasons. There's one company in the world that's in the box seat for this. That company's name is Aptiv. It's US listed, has a $25 billion market cap, and what they do is they really provide the outsourced automotive electronics to all these vehicle manufacturers. When I say all these manufacturers, it really is almost everyone in the world, from GM and Ford to Tesla to BYD. Aptiv has all those companies as its customer. Now, why is there the opportunity right now in Aptiv? We're very early in the stages of vehicle automation. If you think back to 5-10 years ago, it'd be fancy if you had the parking beepers at the back of your car, so when you're doing your parallel park into the car park, they'd go off and go crazy at you. Now, the car might have cruise control, the beepers on the front and the back, and even a modern brand new car might have cruise control with lane assist, automatic braking. The features keep on expanding. We're still a very long way away from full automation though. If you think about the beepers in a car, you're looking at a couple of $100 there. Full automation is $10,000 and beyond, and there's still a long runway to get there. Now, importantly, a lot of this isn't just driven by consumer preference. We all would love to have this in our car, but it costs a fair bit of money. But it's also regulations as well. For example, in most countries around the world, now you need to have a reversing camera within your car, and Australia will be soon included in that as well. We're very early in the stages of vehicle automation. When we do our research at Firetrail, one of the most important things we do is focus. There's so much noise out there in the world. Even with individual companies, there's so much noise coming at you. What we do with every stock is we drill down into the 2 or 3 things that matter for every stock. For Aptiv, there's 2 things that matter. The first one is modern vehicle architecture. And that's a fancy way of saying getting all of those big automakers as your customer. And the big proof point in this we're seeing right now is that it's winning a lot of business with Japanese automakers. And they are notorious automakers for trying to insource as much as they can. The second thing that matters is margins. And post-COVID, our margins did go down, but now we're seeing them on a sustainable trajectory and growing again. One of the biggest proof points we can see, as I've shown in this chart here, is the increase in Aptiv order bookings. It's more than doubled since 2020 in the past 3 years, and the company's given a pretty conservative forecast in our view to grow again into 2024. Aptiv is the leading play on electronic vehicles. It trades on 14 times price to earnings, It is cheaper than the market. It's growing faster than the market. It's just one example of the opportunities that we're looking for in the Firetrail S3 Global Opportunities Fund. Now, in summary today, I'd like to really reiterate those three key messages. For us, it's all about looking forward. We don't pay too much attention at all to what's happened in the past. Investing is about the future. The second one is focusing on change. If you can find these companies, like we look for all day long, going through positive change, that's where you're going to be able to find excess returns in the market. And finally, I talked about some of those opportunities out there that we're seeing today. It really is global equity investing with a sustainable edge. Now, what I'll leave you with today, and I know many of you in the room have invested alongside us at Firetrail, and I do thank you for that. We offer an unlisted fund, but we also more recently, in late 2022, launched the ASX vehicle, an active ETF under the ticker S3GO. At Firetrail, we're very excited about the future, and we invite you to invest alongside us in the Firetrail S3 Global Opportunities Fund. Thank you.